Today is March 25th in the year 2022. My name is Tina Dodds, and I'm here with medium Karen Bakirin and our guides and higher selves. We're doing a spiritual health check. Just let me know when we're connected with, please.
We're connected.
Permission from the higher self.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So we'll begin by scanning through our outer etheric field, and just let me know what it is that you notice there.
A lot of thought forms. I feel like they're really slippery. I feel like I'm walking on something and I'm kind of sliding on it. Um, just a lot to think about. A lot of, just thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. It's just piled on there. The space is not like an open, like how I see like an open landscape and things like that. It feels like I'm in a room, a white room. Like we're not really wanting to be. Out here, I feel like there's a bit of a control aspect of it.
When you say out here, where are you in this white room?
It's just like a white room. You can't even see anything. Like it's just all white around.
You can dim that light down a bit and allow the area to come into focus. What do you see there in that white room?
I'm seeing like in a corner, there is a door that's allowing for like the light to come in, but it is darker now in the room. But I'm seeing like near the door, there's like a couple of piles of boxes. I feel like they're very far from me.
Okay. Do you see anything else in the room?
No.
Okay, so go ahead and look over to those boxes. Tell me what they look like and what's inside.
They just look like little boxes, like things like where you would, pack in like old memories or things like, if you're moving out of your parents' house, like that kind of thing, just old collectibles. I feel like some of them are like, some of them feel like, good times. Other parts, it's like there's some really deep at the bottom. They're just things that I'd like to forget. Feels like I feel that reflection of where have I gone? Who have I become? Like as if not really knowing who I am, not really fully connecting to that. Feels like life kind of came in here and created like this really large gray zone, this space that's in this room. Not being able to connect, and all I have are like these boxes of memories, and half of them I don't really care to remember, but I don't know who I am when I look at these things anymore. Like I can remember them. I feel the nostalgia of it. But then when I come back to myself, I feel really sad inside.
I'm wondering if there's an ultimate reason for all of this sadness and trauma that has happened in your life. I want you to travel through time and space now, going to the root cause, the very root cause for all of this sadness and trauma that has occurred. And you're drifting through time and space, finding this root cause. In 3, 2, and 1, be there now and tell me what you notice.
I feel like it's like Flintstones time. There's like a little community. I do feel that in the distance. I have a husband. I feel like I've experienced a lot of loss.
Mm-hmm. What have you lost?
There's family members. There's I feel even like I'm barren, like I can't have children.
Mm-hmm.
There's that too, like the grief there of not having any children. I feel like I guess the person who, like someone who's a little higher up in rank, that's like, it feels like my husband works for him, but he has some kind of weird power over me.
How so?
Um, I don't know. It's just the way he looks at me. There's something there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an attraction to him, but I fear him.
Mm-hmm.
I feel my husband becomes very submissive around him and allows him to do whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel protected. I don't feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. But when I'm just me and my husband, I feel okay. Like I'm okay. But there's emptiness inside. It must be like, I guess, because I'm not able to, I guess, have my own family, and like those that were really around me have all gone. So I feel like I'm just stuck in this type of energy space where it doesn't feel safe to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I guess what I'm getting at is there some kind of interference here that keeps causing these losses, that keeps causing this kind of trauma, this feeling of unsafety, this feeling of not being protected, like always just feeling um, unsafe? Is there an ultimate cause for that feeling?
the only thing that it's showing me is that, like, when I see roots of the family, it's not strong. It feels very like separated,
Mm,
almost like as if I have cooked spaghetti in a row and they're not. They're just there dangling. Like there's no support.
mm,
It feels like a very deep root in that. Um, like really not feeling supported. If anything, like there's no. It's just like having like taking out the plant out of its what do you call it?
the planter.
Yeah, the planter, and it's just vulnerable there. The roots are just in the soil, but there's no support of the whole thing. That's what it feels like. Nothing is being held. Nothing is that's really just lacking foundation.
Lacking foundation. And has this happened in more than one lifetime?
Yes. I can't really see it, but I feel it. I can't see things specifically,
Mm-hmm.
but it feels though like every time I get wind of like the feet or whatever, they're just kind of dangling. It's not really on the ground.
Mm-hmm. And why does this keep repeating?
Something deceptive here, energetic wise. I can't see it, but it's like every time there's a grip of like a hand, like hands being held together, like being caught in the wind and getting like someone to grab you by hand, there's always like a let go. Like it never latches. So it feels as though it's like being stuck in a tornado or like a storm.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What is creating this like vortex or this storm?
Trying to understand what it is exactly, but it does feel very masculine. The energy feels very masculine,
Mm-hmm.
like as if this energy just likes to throw around a rag doll.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so asking that energy to come forward and show itself.
It looks like an elder, but like not a positive one.
Mm-hmm.
Very sinister, long nose, humanoid features, dark eyebrows, really short head, like forehead bald,
Mm-hmm.
droopy face, like skin in the face area. heavy energy, like really dense.
What do his eyes look like?
I can't get color, but because the eyebrows are really like in the way,
Mm-hmm.
but they're thick eyebrows,
Mm-hmm.
eyes. I can't get a color. Let me just go through the colors and filter the colors. No, I'm really getting like black, like yes, or black. So yeah, the sinister.
Ask him his name.
It's not clear. Starts with like, are you getting a T?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay. Ask him what is his connection to.
He's saying I like to push her when she's like my slave.
And how long has this been happening?
Oh, he is the energy of the boss.
Mm.
I'm like, how long has this been happening? And it's like I'm seeing lives, but then it came back to that life, and there's the boss.
Mm. So is he like an energy or entity that was inhabiting that boss in that lifetime? Or
I feel so, yes.
okay. And has he been following her ever since?
I'm not getting full yeses, but I would say maybe like 70-80% of the time, yes.
Mm. And how does he affect her life?
He just feels like a very overbearing masculine energy that feels like can put her in a trance, make her do things she don't want to do. And I feel like as time passes, and it's like she doesn't even know where the time went.
Mm. Missing time.
Missing time, yeah.
And does he work through other humans to affect her, or is he doing this from the astral?
I would say both working through people. I'm getting like, oh, maybe that's T for Father Time. Like it's time. I couldn't get a name because I'm like, there's no name here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he has a pocket watch.
Mm.
And
Interesting.
he has like big, thick finger, almost cartoon like. He looks very cartoon like. But yeah, big, thick knuckles. Raggedy clothes. Like I don't even feel like he cares about himself, even like just the way that he takes care of himself. That he's just, uh,
Well, you have a high vibration, so you're probably seeing him how he really is.
mm, right.
Right.
Yeah, because he's wearing Birkenstocks.
Okay.
Very comfy.
Okay, so how else does he affect wife? What is he doing to her? What kind of physical, mental, emotional symptoms is he causing her?
I feel like he takes things from her, takes her power, takes her again, like any type of grounded energy from her, not creating that vortex around her, not feeling like she's got control. I feel like it stirs like anger inside of her because she can't get a grip of it. Like she'll just explode
Mm.
um, when really pushed to the limit.
Mm.
Um, and again, I feel like he's just manipulating all this because he has like not one of those evil laughs, but it's just kind of like a single like type when that happens.
Mm-hmm. And what does that give to him? What does he get out of that?
It's not even the word pleasure. I can't even say that word, but it's another form, maybe like a satisfaction, but like a very evil satisfaction.
Mm. Does he receive some kind of energy or?
I feel like he steals time from people,
Okay.
and
How does he do that?
it's part of the spell. I don't know. Like, hold on, let me just see what other energies are like he's affiliated with. I feel like he's an independent. It feels an independent, like because I can't affiliate it with a beat like a race.
Mm-hmm.
I think he takes pride in that.
So he doesn't work with any other entities?
I don't feel that. I feel like he's just a mastermind on his own. That's why he doesn't give a shit like what he looks like or whatever.
Ask him how many people he is affecting in this way.
Oh God, lots. He's showing me in a it's like his watch that he can open. Like when he opens it, I see the clock thing, but then it also can create a dome like thing, like almost like a crystal ball that you could kind of see in it, and it's like there's so many people, like just a lot of people who just go through life like again, same almost very similar in the energy of like and how you hear it all the time in people, you know, like where did the time go? I should appreciate it when they were that small. Like when you hear things like that, he's affiliated to that. There's a collective of people whose time has been like taken from them, or they can't even savor because they're working like dogs. They're working their asses off. They're just going with it and then not being able to be present, like not being able to take that minute until something happens for them to wake up. Like I feel like he laughs like when people lose their lives. You know, whether it's through disease or, you know, where they're kind of like in quicksand and they're trying to get themselves out of it, but they're dying. He's like it's like he's taking that from them. More time.
He's taking the time.
Yes.
So time is what devours us.
Yes.
So is he associated with the god called Cronus, the god of time?
Okay, yeah, I'm getting like a body, yes.
And Saturn?
There's a partial when you said Saturn, I saw him turn to skeleton.
Interesting. What does that mean? Is that his true form?
That could be his true form on Birkenstocks. I was hoping was. Yeah, because it's like as if people are, you know, like those that have been forgotten, like how they show them in the movies, like after they've been missing or dead for some time, like Indiana Jones finds them and they're all like skeletons, like they're just gone.
So what is it that he consumes to keep himself alive?
To me, it feels like the lack of awareness, the lack of presence, which is a huge collective loosh for him. Those programs of like the not being there, fluoride eyes, like those kind of things. Getting completely lost in that mundane, everyday, hate Monday, do the Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, tired all the time, no time for nothing. Like there's just people that are just getting lost in that abyss. he feeds off of that, like, and it's like when they die and they didn't get to fulfill their mission, he's literally like, yeah, I guess that's where that line came from, and another one bites the dust.
Does he have any cords, devices, implants, entity, contracts with?
I don't feel like he has contracts per se, not with her, but just in the general collective, because I feel like she falls into this general collective. It's just a program that has just been going and going and going and feeding itself that you don't even need a contract.
So I guess the contract would be that you are incarnated here. That's the
Yeah.
contract.
Pretty much.
So is he feeding off everyone then?
Yeah, because it's the word that comes through is collective. The collective actually unconscious.
So the collective unconscious is what feeds him.
Yes.
Well, he's not looking so good if he's like skeleton like.
Well, maybe that's how I see him, but like you said, but you know, I guess he just doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't care. That's just the underlying tone of him. Like, I don't care. Yeah, because he's telling me, he's like, I don't care if you judge me. He's like, I had you.
I had you?
Yeah.
What does he mean by that?
I guess because, like, I've also contributed to this collective unconsciousness. You know?
Yeah, sure.
And I'm like, yeah, you did. No, not.
You mentioned something about a spell. Is there a spell that he has placed over people?
I feel like in the first like round, I guess, of people, it's like before the technology came and did it for it.
Mm.
It's like, yeah, there was a spell that was being in place, and then after that, it became like a collective program, hive mind.
Okay.
So it played itself out in that way, and then yeah, eventually everyone stays in that trance.
Okay, so the technology is creating the trance now. He doesn't need to place the spell.
Right.
Oh, goodness. Okay. How do we break this connection with this entity? What do we need to do? What does she need to do?
Well, it's again just being present. I feel like the presence or catching it and trying as much as possible to be here in this body to do what you need to do, even if sometimes it just doesn't feel worth it. Because it's like, you know, as you find yourself in that zombie formation, then that's feeding it. Mm. So it's trying to reprogram the self to function in a different way. Mm. Again, it's collective unconsciousness. So it's like you have to be conscious. You can't. I feel like there's less of a grip when you have that awareness.
Does this entity work through other humans in her life to get to her?
Well, I guess because everybody falls in this category, I mean, you can't really. I would say yes, but at the same time, it's part of the whole program system that's been up for ages.
Right, and so the only way to really beat the system is to become fully present and fully conscious of your actions, reactions,
exactly, your own life, taking power over your own life.
What are the qualities in humans that he cannot steal time from or feed from?
Those that are grateful, those that are in the moment, those that are able to appreciate. I feel appreciation is a big one.
What does he say?
I hate telling them secrets. But it is like, yeah. It's just like, you know, like when you have no regrets or going back and saying like I should have done this and I should have done that. It's forcing people, I guess, to do them, to do the hard things, to do the things that are very uncomfortable, but that you will not have regrets on, because the time that comes in between will create like those, yeah, should have done it when I had the chance, when I had the time, when I did,
Mm-hmm.
dot, dot, dot.
Okay.
And it's quite funny because today, like when we were driving here to Jersey, we stopped at a rest stop and I was looking at my daughter through the crack of like the bathroom. I go, "Are you okay there, Jew? Like, figure it out, like what's going on?"
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lady that passed me and she's like, "Oh, such a good time." She's like, I wish I could remember my children that age. It's such a fun age.
Mm.
So you see, like even that is showing up in so many ways.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it made me even think like, yes, even though like I'm really like grossed out about toilets and things like that, I was just like, yes, you're right. I should remember, make a mental note of this.
Yeah. Yeah. So gratitude, presence, and appreciation.
Yes, those are key factors in creating quality of life and savoring what time we have.
Yeah.
We can always make other steps or take different ways to create the life that we want, and to forget about all the factors in between that we're just like, we're too old, can't do that, it's impossible. These are just like the limiting beliefs that are there. But at least if goals are too far-fetched at this time, but at least to be here and being in those feelings, being in those moments, like, and really appreciating them when they're good, like being human. I think that's the thing, because I feel like he brings out the zombie in everybody.
Mm. Okay. So you mentioned in reference to him too that there was like kind of like a vortex that was happening, or this lacking in foundation, like their roots not being anchored.
Right. And so many people are grounded,
Mm.
really not here, or just in their mind and doing what they have to do. I guess this is like survival tactic too, like there's things not allowing for people to feel so grounded or safe enough to heal themselves, to go to the core things, but people don't know this.
Mm.
There's a lack of education in what we need to do in order for us to free ourselves.
Okay, so what is it that needs to focus on for her own healing to create safety for herself and foundation for herself?
Just recognizing the wounds inside. Her daughter is mirroring everything in her.
Yeah.
That she needs to look at. People that, anything that requires or that creates a reaction within her is just reflecting what is unhealed inside. So you can use that perspective instead of like, pointing the finger, but to be like, okay, so what is it showing me about myself and what I've been through, or what is it why does that bother me?
Right.
Yeah.
Of
course, there are things, we have our thresholds and limits, but being able to recognize it and giving a voice to the unsaid, unheard, all of validating yourself will begin the process of, at least sifting through the boxes, because there's more boxes than just those ones that are here by the door that I'm seeing. Yeah. There's so much more, and this is what he's stolen. It's these boxes that we don't even know exist.
Mm. So just to make sure there's no checking for any cords to this entity.
No.
Nothing like that?
No.
Okay.
There's no cords to anybody. That's why it's so tricky.
Mm.
Again, it just requires a bit of consciousness, some action. I think this is why the collective, it's so on a downward like spiral. It's because there's a lack in accountability, or at least taking charge, or knowing that you can. It's just that knowledge that you can.
Mm-hmm.
You have all the power to do so, to make that decision every day that I'm not going to to feel like this today, you know, like, or just to feed into an old story or an old program. I'm going to start with a different mindset today, like just, you know, motivating and deprogramming the old.
Yeah.
It's hard because there's so many people are in that and stuck here. It's like we've dug ourselves into that, you know, they've created that whole paradigm of success, which I feel he has taken a hand at. Paradigm of success, like, you know, with the whole like marriage and education and your 9 to 5 job and blah blah blah, like all the traps.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just functioning out of, you know, needing to fill a void without having to look at the void.
Mm.
So it's like bringing us in this, and then you get so deep in it, and you're like, how the hell do I get myself out? I don't know how. And that was the whole point, to dig yourself so deep that you don't know how to get yourself out.
Mm.
And people just roll with the punches. No accountability. We're not taught about accountability.
Okay. So the way to get out of this is to take accountability and heal the trauma that is present here.
Yes, there's so much trauma inside. Like, I feel that this is like where, like, when I scan her body, a lot of it, like, I'm getting like a lot of heaviness. I would say chest down.
Mm.
It's just compacted in there. Like, I'm passing like a light from top to bottom, and you could see that it's so full, which could be causing like the pains, like the depression, the anxiety, because it's all old energies that are in there that are simmering and feeling, and you know, there's so much in there that, you know, it's really hard to put a word or a memory or whatever to the anxiety, because it's not just one thing, it's everything that you've never felt safe enough to feel.
Right. So can we help her begin to clear some of this trauma out today?
Yes.
And just, you know, an FYI for future, you don't even need to know what all of this stuff is related to. You can just have the intention to clear your trauma, like just even lay down once a day or as you're going to sleep at night and just ask for this trauma to be cleared from your body. And it's just energy work, like just moving the energy, just having the intention to move the energy. The more you do that, it'll take time, but you will be able to clear the body of that and eventually have so much less pain and emotional symptoms. I was in like a very similar place to where you are with depression, anxiety, PTSD. As I was actually writing down your symptoms, I was just hearing it's all energy, it's all energy, it's all energy. It's just all just stuck energy in your body that you just need to move out and move through. And you don't even need to know anything about it. You just need to move it. So how is that going?
Yeah, it's a body is very receptive. The energetic body is receptive.
Good. Okay. So we're still in the outer etheric. So
It should be pretty swift from here.
okay. Checking for the matrix pod.
Yes, we're going to remove her from here, clearing her body from that. Unplugging her. She has 9 cords, so we're also clearing those cords out.
Crucifixion implants.
5, which are removed.
Geisha codes.
3, removed.
Okay. Zooming in closer, checking for sovereignty.
There is a level 2 and a level 3 here present. Yeah, really playing with the mental game, which is why we saw a lot of those thoughts before and simmering in that, like really beating her up and like really making her feel like a fail. Like it just feels really shitty. I really feel for her. Like, this is not a place that you want to be. This is not a place where you thrive. This is not a place where you feel good about yourself. So it's just an acknowledgement that there are infringements that are creating this, like, or amping it up for you. Like, I can already see how much you already a critic on yourself. So they're adding more to this. So it's just being aware of how you think and how you speak to yourself, how you think about things and whatnot. So just catching it and trying to change it to another thought, or, not really playing into it. Like, don't feed it.
Yeah.
There's no use in feeding it.
Okay. So are there any hooks or cords from these entities?
I do feel there's a bit of hooks in here that we're removing here. So those two have been removed and chopped up.
Thank you. How's your grounding?
Grounding is in the low 50s, so we're going to bring up to 100.
And the inner etheric field?
The inner etheric just needs a bit of optimizing, so we're going to brighten that up, strengthen it.
Checking through here for any implants or devices.
Over the heart space. There's one there, preventing from opening up fully. Again, it's all trauma related. Heart wall, lack of trust in life. Can feel very lonely. Feel like it's, just wanting to be validated and supported, if anything,
Yeah.
Like I can hear like the inner contact, like conversation, like, like where are the good people? Are the good people?
Yeah.
It's very devastating.
Any other implants or devices?
No.
Okay, checking for any curses from this life or others.
No.
Black magic.
No, just an acknowledgement. I feel like we've cleared it already twice, so it's like relative, but clear.
Okay. Witchcraft. Any other occult ritual activity?
No, same.
Okay. Psychic attack.
Yes, I feel like from her own inner critic, it's pretty harsh. So again, just awareness.
And checking the chakras.
Needing a lot of rebalancing, so just doing that. Checking for devices, which I don't sense. Again, strong heart wall. But everything else is okay. Solar plexus does feel compact, but it's the energies that we have been allowing, like helping to move out. So just an acknowledgement of that. Everything else is good.
Any parasites?
Yes, there are parasites on the outside that we're removing. Just going to pass the mesh through top to bottom to remove also whatever has accumulated inside.
And checking for any earthbound souls.
No, I don't sense any.
Okay. And any portals present?
No.
And checking through the home.
Just a bit of a rebalance needing here. Again, feeling a lot of thought forms, anything like that's most dominant energy here. So we're also clearing that out. I don't sense any portals since we had last cleared. I feel like we've done work here already. I've seen it. So just rebalancing. I see a lot of the thought forms since Kai's been out of the house. Reinforcing the mirrors on the windows. Going through the internet connection. Passing through the devices. DFEs.
Any past life energy or contracts? How about that one we saw, the Flintstone age one? Anything from there that needs to be healed?
Yeah, I feel like she just needs to be a little more empowered, not putting too much pressure on herself. She has that program that there's something wrong with her because she can't bear any children. Suffering a lot because like all the loved ones that she has are all gone. So it feels very lonely. Feel like she can't get that spark back up again. Like it's a really difficult feat for her. So yeah, we're going to say healing to this aspect. Creating boundary also from that life and this life, and also healing any cellular memory that may have come into this one. feel like everybody in the collective can remove themselves from this trance, this time trance, just by choice.
What forms you said we did, right?
Yes.
Negative contracts, did we do that? No, we didn't. Negative contracts.
Burn them and cut the cords.
Any dissociated self-personalities, aspects of the self that split off from the whole when a trauma occurs.
Yeah, there's a lot of trauma in the earlier years. So just acknowledging like the single digits and like teens. There are some following like the 20s, 30s, and the 40s. So we're just going to gather them, also remove any other attachments. Do some of them have in the single digits? Some of the teens too. So we are going to remove those, gathering them, sending a lot of healing, a lot of love, security, and safety. Working on their worthiness, confidence. I feel like a lot of that trust in life happened at these young ages, so yeah. And then just subsequent like experiences after just reinforcing this belief.
What's the belief?
Oh, like can't trust life. Like life is just shitty and everyone sucks. I think that's why that whole thing, like, is there any good people? Like, oh,
Yeah.
it feels lonely. Okay.
Scanning the soul to see what percentage she's embodying.
So I'm getting 36%, so we're going to call back all the soul parts from all past lives, parallel lives, traumatic experiences, old relationships. But we're just ensuring that there's no funny overlays that don't belong here. Okay. Soul parts are coming back relatively quickly. Just also looking at the spark of source light within. Again, I feel like true hope is a necessity. Faith, like things like that, are a necessity in keeping our spark alive. So it's just something to try to find, like even just little things, even if you got to write down things that you do love about your life, you know, and not feeling guilty about even if it's like one thing for the day, what you appreciate, what, you know, who you want to be or what you want it to be, or, you know, like just putting it out there and examining or like connecting with yourself in that way, at least to get yourself heard without judging it, without putting it down, without saying, you know, that's not possible, that's just stupid or whatever. It's just to be that, you know, connecting to that inner child inside that just was able to lay it all out there without worry. I feel like there's so many people that need to reconnect with that child self, the playful one, the one that didn't,
Filter.
yeah, that had no filter. I was able to just express whatever needed to come out, and that's it.
Okay.
Just allowing for the spark to brighten up and protecting it, and also allowing for the light to fill the body and beyond. Soul retrieval is really good. Going to the low 90s now and mid 90s, so that's practically complete. So have yourself take care of that, but it's practically, we're almost there anyway.
You say it's the point of vulnerability or the cause for these issues?
It's the trauma and not having the tools and how to face it, how to look at it, and how to feel. There's a lot of things like that, you know, the lack of education or safety, or again, there's so much that has been taken from her in a way like that, you know, doesn't feel validated, doesn't feel worthy, doesn't feel confident, doesn't feel good. So when you have lack of these things, it's like almost the will is gone. But it's also playing in that whole role of not feeling completely grounded and being overtaken by that tornado or whatever that case is. Allowing time to just run its course, and then, looking back and being like, okay, well, nothing happened. So there's that. So, it creates a cynic.
Cynical, yeah.
Yeah. The cynic inside, the one, who's very skeptical and not really believing in the possibility of good or in joy
Healing.
or, a long lasting joy, contentment. That it all starts in the present, like being present and acknowledging yourself and all the suffering you've been through, taking the time to take care of yourself, and giving yourself that space, that safe space to mother yourself and to heal those parts of yourself that are in need of your attention and love. So yeah, the healing always begins on the inside out. So this is where the vulnerability is. It's that because of that disconnect or seeing that you're not really able to ground yourself, this is where you need to start the work, is to do, the grounding, go out, step out, put your feet on the ground, like little practices like that. Taking a deep breath and just looking at nature, for example, and just focusing on something that looks beautiful to you, and that'll be enough. Like, I appreciate that. I appreciate nature for its, being. And if you don't see a purpose in that, go out there and try it. Or go to where you feel that you can appreciate, where your attention can be there, where you can be present.
Thank you. So, any other advice for aftercare? How to stay clear and sovereign?
So just the same practices that we've given for try. So, like, protect yourself morning and night, call back all your soul parts, let go of everything that didn't belong to you or that you picked up in your day. Just be really kind to yourself, gentle. Like, yeah, really start to parent and mother yourself. But at least the child inside that is in need of your attention.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Any final messages for, or are we complete today?
No, I just feel like she just needs like a really big hug. So just to know that we're there for her. It could feel like a lonely road, but you're not alone.
You're not alone. Yeah, exactly. We are sending you all of our love. We hope this is helpful for you, for some insight. Maybe it'll help you to feel a little bit lighter. Yeah, please let us know how you're feeling. And we're sending you all of our love. Thanks so much.